That's a Brit point as always. Let's just get into this one.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
How is everyone finding jobs?
Everyone knows that the UK job market is completely cooked right now.
Looking for jobs in 2025 has got to be the most humbling experience.
You actually haven't went through real struggle if you haven't tried to get a job on Indeed.
Do not quit your job. Oh my goodness.
I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm about to start lying on my application.
Just use your connections to get a job in life. Just use your network to get a job in life. Your uncle is a finance manager at NatWest.
Guys, everyone's unemployed.
As you all know, all you see in the news is immigration levels, etc., etc. But nobody is going to talk about unemployment levels.
Job market at the moment is absolutely insane.
Companies aren't hiring, wages are stuck in the past, and somehow landing a decent job feels harder than ever. People are sending out applications, getting ghosted, and when they do land an interview, it's probably for a job that barely covers the bills.
Yeah.
Stick around because we're breaking it all down. And yeah, hit subscribe unless you enjoy financial pain, in which case, carry on.
Looking for jobs in 2025 has got to be the most humbling experience. Now, I'm actually currently looking for work. I've been looking for work for a while.
All right.
I'm not even getting responses back from KFC. I have all these holidays planned that I need to go on. I have responsibilities. I have a cat to look after.
Bro.
Holidays to book. I have countries to go and I need a job.
I don't think she was serious.
And I just
You can't be serious.
My jaw literally dropped open. Tell me why there's a job posting for a clinical negligence paralegal, and the requirements are. It says you will be a graduate of the LPC.
Yeah, that sounds
good. Academics. You will have at least 6 months experience in clinical negligence role. Litigation experience is preferable but not essential. Blah 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 blah.
Why would you? Are you...
Down. The salary is 16,000 to 20,000.
16.
Written dependent on experience. How are people offering roles for people
the
that
job
have
market is cooked.
not only graduated with their bachelors but also spent like 15 to 20k on an LPC and have 6 months of experience, and the most they're willing to offer is 20,000? Are you fucking kidding me?
Chill.
I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm about to start lying on my application. Because if the job market is just truly...
You live in the UK?
Y'all better start lying.
You're in America talking about
that resume. You better start... Well, not the resume, because you gonna be cooked. All these... You gonna be cooked. Don't lie on your resume. Lie on that application. See what I'm saying? But any job you
this guy's not even...
If it's open, it's open. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like everyone just kind of making this a joke now.
Services is gonna probably let you go due to the lack of work, but probably work a warehouse. Amazon. I don't know how y'all feel about Amazon now. With the DEI bull crap, you know, Aldi's and Sam's, and I don't know how y'all feel about them. What about Costco? Is Costco hiring? Are y'all hiring? And why is y'all so far? Y'all out in Springdale. I'm still in Cincinnati. Why is y'all
So you are in America.
Who hiring? Please let me know.
I'm enjoying the hell out of my last 2 years of college right now because I'm looking at all the alumni and I realize the job market is brutal. In a couple years, the homeless aren't even going to have cardboard signs anymore. They're just going to be standing outside holding their comp sci degree in a hat to collect money.
Facts.
I just saw a valedictorian comp sci graduate get rejected from his local McDonald's. You can't even put the fries in the bag anymore in this economy. I got to learn all these computer languages and take all this proof-based math, all just to potentially become a janitor at Carl's Jr. doing 50 reps of Mr. Miyagi's on the walls every day. If content or teaching doesn't work out, I'm going to have to throw out my degree and start up a fucking lemonade stand or some shit. Shit, I might major in home ec.
Might have to.
Be up a resource because my homie graduated a few years ago. He had a good major, a great college, great grades, and a great internship. I watched dude go from conference to conference, from interview to interview. Motherfucker owns a whole inventory worth of suits, one for each different occasion. And his job applications are still getting rejected faster than an ugly motherfucker at a club. Straight brick after brick. At this point, I wouldn't even be mad if he just gave up and started selling crack.
So they just...
It's like everybody at those conferences are fighting to see who gets...
You guys just robbing the American content as well. I don't blame you, but... Just don't put UK job market. There's no.
I am rooting for you. Said not really, because if you get the job, that's one less job. Yeah, so
just use your connections to get a job in life. Just use your network.
To give me, is it Stephen Carr vibes? Stephen, what the comedian, the stand-up guy? Is that him?
Yeah, when you.
Or Alan? Stephen,
Yeah,
right?
recently, I
Who
know
cares,
actually-
man? Both of them have cars.
Uni,
Well,
yeah?
what they
Don't
do.
give me life advice about, oh yeah, I'll work so hard to get this job. Is it? You're flipping uncle. Yeah, I checked on LinkedIn. Got the same
Yes, we listen.
working at the same bank, and already you're. I'm not jealous at all that you got internship and I haven't. All I'm saying is that my network is brother's flipping my cousin from flipping BCU. Do you know what I mean?
Alright, so this guy, listen, this stuff has always existed. What the stuff he's referring to, right? Nepotism is not ever going to stop. So really, there's no point in complaining about it. Just allow them to get what they get. Bro, how else do you think people are being able to get on the stuff like the job ladder? Some people on a property ladder, where they're basically being fed information. Come on, man.
I applied for internship.
The best you can do, right, is what they say, build networking and stuff like that, which is it's not it's not easy.
You actually haven't went through
It's not
real
easy.
struggle if you haven't tried to get a job on Indeed.
Your facts.
Indeed is actually a myth. Like, I'm convinced, like, it's a myth of an art.
Well, to be fair, my guy, you're younger, so.
Seconds, I swear down, I was on the app for at least 3 months with like 1,000 jobs applied to, and you get like
Nothing.
2 interviews. The ratio
It's
was
wild.
actually crazy.
It's wild.
You'll be applying every single second of the day, and you just get nothing. Every
Wild.
single email.
Wild.
Unfortunately. I literally remember applying to be like a litter picker or something, and I didn't even get. Like, I'll wash your toilets, I'll literally clean your shoes, just anything, just let me get money. Like, I was getting so desperate in the summer for money. Like, I was applying to the jobs that were literally saying like £30 a day, and all just like the little odd jobs. Like, I wanted anything and I still couldn't get them. If you have a job now, be thankful, because I guarantee there are at least thousands of people who wish they had your job right now, because it's literally like impossible.
UK unemployment has risen to the highest
Wow.
level in nearly 4 years. Meanwhile, everybody is talking about the same issue. As you all know, all you see in the news is immigration levels, etc., etc. But nobody is going to talk about unemployment levels, and as I said, they are officially at the highest level in nearly 4 years. And let's consider nearly 4 years.
It's just scary, bro, because at the end of the day, like, many people, they don't know what else,
unemployed.
what other way to make money, pretty much,
And nobody's life has
Is it-
gotten better economically.
Is it me, or is these stuff is just...
Same statements about immigration, migration, etc., etc., because that's what most of the population want to hit. Meanwhile, most people can't even find jobs, no matter what degree they have, no matter what skills they have, no matter what age. Nobody can find a job, and it's simply because there's no growth in the UK, no economic growth whatsoever. Nobody can find jobs because no jobs are available, none are being created.
get money,
How are people finding
which is not easy.
in a career that they weren't previously in without experience? Yet when I try and
Nepotism.
regardless if it's a job I'm
Who do you, bro? Who do you?
new, it's a rejection within the first 30 seconds.
Who do you know? Unfortunately, right, it should be a meritocracy, but that's not how. Bruh. Capitalism. And I'm not for that. I'm just basically just giving you what the reality is.
100 applicant, so you need to literally sell pictures of my feet for like $3,000 a month. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, and I'm also asking for people to actually respond to you.
Bruh, you're not, unfortunately, mate,
6 weeks and then responding.
You're a bit too...
unsuccessful.
Tell me in the first week or two.
Everyone knows that the UK job market is completely cooked right now. But data shows that the job market actually cooled down in February. The UK labour market saw a softer decline in the recruitment activity in February 2025. This is based on the latest data from KPMG and the Recruitment and Employment Confederation. Now, the job market in the UK has been cooked for a number of months now. I have routinely spoken to friends that have been out of work for over a year. In fact, I spoke to someone just 2 weeks ago that had just secured employment after 14 months of being out of a job. And I'm not talking about people who are underskilled. I'm talking about people who are well-versed in their respective industries. People that have 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 20 years experience doing one particular thing.
Crazy.
Just because you're skilled and you have experience and knowledge in the particular sector that you work in, it doesn't mean that you can quickly secure another job if you were to be made redundant. And significant changes in the data or the job market won't come into effect until months down the line. Just because the data now says things are getting better, it doesn't mean that things are getting better in real terms.
Of course.
And everyone's experience is anecdotal.
Not just the job market is cooked. The data they're putting out is cooked. It's manipulated. It's crazy.
Low, and companies are not selling
Manipulated like crazy.
And any good company that is based in the UK is going abroad because there's better opportunities elsewhere. And of course, that has a massive effect on the jobs that are available. And then we see what we see today. Hopefully, 2025 gets better for people out there that are looking for jobs. But it is a mindset.
It's looking bleak. It's looking bleak.
If you've never seen me before, I talk about the economy, personal finance, and making you and your family more money. So if you're not,
what was he right? Make.
Hi guys, right. Listen,
England.
Don't
Is that what
quit
it
your
said?
job. Do not quit your job. Oh my goodness. Even if you find it really boring, stay in your job. Stay in your job, because I'm currently looking for contracted employment, and I didn't realise how bad this jobs market actually is.
Really terrible.
It's
disgusting.
Oh my goodness. So basically, I've had 2 interviews over the past couple of weeks. I've been unemployed for 2 months now, and 2 months, you know, and people say, "Oh, that's not a long time." that's
when you got bills.
So that's a lot of time.
When you got bills,
so
jeez.
Like I said, I had 2 interviews. First interview performed really well, didn't get the job. Second interview didn't perform that well. Confidence was really badly hit after that first job rejection. 24 hours later, I had another interview, answered all the questions, but really generic interview. Really didn't perform well in that. So I've been rejected from that as well. Got another interview tomorrow, prepping really hard for that one. We're going to give it our all in that one. Confidence is back. But, like, guys, don't quit your job. Seriously, this jobs market is so hard with the application processes to get back into employment. It's really difficult. Now, if you've got a referral, you're in, right? But even that, then it's not guaranteed. So, but
that's the,
you know,
pretty much.
Jobs market, if you don't have referrals, guys,
apply to places that you know people are in. Like, you kind of need to start taking advantage of the fact that, okay, if I know somebody somewhere, I'm going to try to apply and use them as leverage, right, to basically get my foot in the door. Because it's not, come on, guys, you know, I'm not saying it's easy, by the way. I'm just saying that's where, if you're hearing, if what I'm hearing right now is, you know, nepotism, referral, whatever. So use that to your advantage if you can. I'm sure you have somebody that's there.
You sort of like
that can help you.
Jobs. Yeah, there's a job on this list that wants you to be AAT qualified.
Bare stuff, right? Bare things, bare.
Experience in
everything.
So all right, you're not chartered, but you have put any effort to get to.
And then they're paying you
for less than 27.
Like a fisherman.
And this is not a dig.
Fisherman probably gets paid more than that.
Been there, worked in retail. If you don't have these people, then you don't have the shops. However, if you have a skill set and you have studied and qualified, why are these jobs paying less than a supermarket? The system is broken.
It's true.
And
it's
I know some people go, "Oh yeah,
trash.
But people travel into London." Not everyone wants to travel into London, you know. And if that's what's available to you in your area, then it's quite annoying, isn't it? I almost wanted to email back, like, is this role a joke? Because whoever that employer is needs to. Well, I'll be amazed if they recruit anyone.
Would you really?
Before anyone says, why do people working in retail deserve less? It's literally not about that. It is just about, like, you deserve to have a good salary, good wage, but if you're going to be looking for someone with qualification, they need to be rewarded for that. And obviously entry-level jobs are the sort of barometer of this is where you should start to have an alright income.
All right, I want
to people.
I want to just
less to that flat city jobs.
I want to just say something, because
the job market right
can you just
now?
chill? Actually, in fact, can I just okay. Just keep going. In fact, because
I am just laughing at this point.
What are guys?
A phone call with
okay, let me hear this.
And
so I'm just interested now to see what you're gonna say.
I'm a bit speechless, to be honest.
What happened?
Bear in mind, this recruiter reached out to me, as they do. I never applied for this job. She saw my experience on LinkedIn.
What happened?
Do you have time for a phone call tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, sure. She asks me to tell her about the experience I have. And I have varied experience. This job was for a social media manager. I do have 5 years of experience within the marketing and social media industry. So anyway, I proceed to tell her my experience, and then she kind of cuts me off and she's like, well, this company is hiring someone with 8 years of experience, so I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think you're experienced enough. And I'm like,
You said something
fair enough.
that
If
really
somebody
isn't the.
had 8 years experience, but
You said Jet 5 of
you're
what?
also the one who reached out to me.
You said something.
And I also
Something.
can't change my age. Like, I swear these jobs
Oh, I've got
are
there.
expecting you to be doing work experience
Since
by
you're
the age
12.
of like 10.
So the thing about it is crazy how things are kind of not flipping, I guess, but well, could say that, you know, where they say the job market is ageist, right? Before, well, even still, I guess, ageist to certain people of a certain, you know, age range, they probably won't give you. Right now, it's becoming experientists. Is that experientists? You know, discriminate. I guess discriminating on you against due to your age, which is obviously, I mean, discrimination is not. It's not something that you can't do that. Basically, it's illegal. But it's something that's being done, and it's always to do with how the economy is set up. So right now, because it's really, really bad, they're just trying to find the best. So hold on, let me just see what she's saying.
With our mindsets, just not working with our mindsets. And yeah, it's a shame because a lot of people are struggling right now and don't know what's happening next. Recruiters are airing people. Hiring managers are overwhelmed with CVs and applications. And then I'm also hearing that some of these applications that are posted on like LinkedIn and all of these job like boards aren't real jobs. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, how did it get this bad? It's crazy.
The job market is cooked in the UK. This is yet another story about how bad the job market is in the UK right now. So this guy posted on Reddit that today he got an offer after applying for 13 months. And the craziest thing is, he has over 10 years experience in tech and software.
Jeez.
Now, I posted loads of videos about how students are struggling in the job market, but it goes to show
Experienced
that older people
work, bruv.
with many years of experience still struggling as well. So those of you who are students,
because
who
job
enter
markets,
the job market, maybe you have a few internships or no experience at all. The fact of the matter is, you're going to have to be patient when it comes to getting a job. So this guy here, he applied to over 900 jobs using Google Jobs, Indeed, and LinkedIn. And this is one of the mistakes that he made, is that he used generic job platforms like this. Now, I would encourage all of my students, and I would encourage you to do something different. If you don't want to be sending out 900 applications to get your job, and instead only be sending out 100, you need to be using niche job boards.
Okay.
I mean industry or job role specific job boards, which are online, which are the big ones like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Indeed. And over the last 4 years, I've created a huge list of job boards and resources that you can use, so you don't have to send loads and loads of applications out. And if you want access to that list, then DM me the word list, and I'll send it to you. It's completely for free.
What is going on with the job market and finance right now?
I feel like he was selling something.
As a candidate, job openings just hit a 4-year low. We're going to break down the 3 trends I think that are contributing to this, and also some advice to someone who's had 4 internships in the last year on how to master this job market. First thing is these federal interest rates. Even though interest rates have been cut, they're still relatively high to a few years ago.
American.
A lot of business companies are
Britpoint
service-based companies. Our CPA, investment banking, consulting firms, things like that work with clients. Now, if we have higher interest rates, their clients are going to have a higher cost of capital, a higher rate of return. So it might be a little bit harder for them to expand, for them to grow their revenues, which means that there's going to be less of a demand for these business-based services relative to the growth or the people coming into the industry. If my clients aren't growing, let's say I'm not expanding as a business, and I really don't need to hire more business professionals. So we've seen last year when McKinsey and Bain and other consulting firms might have overestimated their demand and cut jobs or held back on jobs until the summer. Here are 2 more quick reasons, and then we'll get into what you can do about this. Now, with that, take into account the AI craze and where companies might be placing capital in their business for growth opportunities, right? More of that might be going to AI and technologies versus hiring new people or hiring entry-level positions. And on top of that, I think there's definitely a likelihood that the amount of college students, especially in business and finance, has grown at a rate quicker than the amount of jobs have grown in specifically those fields, which just means there's going to be the same amount of jobs or relatively less jobs to the number of people that are going out and graduating from the field, which means naturally
completely imbalanced. Yeah.
But what do I do with this information? The tough job market, there's 2 things you want to make sure your profile has on lock, and that's experience, which just means your ability to impact a business in a positive manner. oh, but I don't have experience. Well, then what you can do is maybe create some. Maybe
So
go
what,
and do a side
internship,
project or
stuff like that?
do, I don't know, a model
If they
or
do an
something that
internship,
provides
apprenticeship,
value
what,
that would be
something,
the
I get
same
it,
in
I
the
get
business
it.
or industry that you're working in. The second thing is connections and a network. Especially when stuff starts getting super competitive and everyone and their mom is applying to positions.
You got
a lot of people are going to have experience, and at the end of the day, what's going to set you up or set you out or
You know
get
someone-
the door to then show all the other initiatives you've taken is your network.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. The job market in the UK is finished. It's actually finished. It's getting worse.
Wow.
It's crazy how many people I've seen struggling to find a job. You know, we're talking people who have got masters, who've got PhDs, who've even got just normal degrees, applying for regular jobs, regular income, nothing special. And they're getting turned down.
But
no reply, no email, no nothing. What is going on? Like, I understand that you're overqualified, but what does that really mean? What does that really come down to?
It means you don't fit the
Because
culture.
You're either qualified, and
It's bro.
that means that you can do any job.
It's all semantics.
If you're qualified, it means anything easier than that.
You don't fit the
should be
culture.
able to do it, and you can do.
I want to say what I want to
does
say,
it
but I
mean that
can't.
says You're overqualified. What kind of excuse is that?
I can't say I want to say.
You've got somebody who's got a great resume, a great CV.
That doesn't matter, bro.
Somebody who's got experience.
The culture,
who's
man.
got,
You got to fit in with people,
years
and
of being doing something.
he looks like
And you
he looks like he can
reject
fit in.
people that are
She looks like he can fit in
overqualified.
with what we
does it
have.
come down to? What is going on? So, my piece of advice is to you guys who are in this situation right now, who are unemployed, who are applying for jobs, who are literally looking to start something, is apply to anything. Apply, just do.
It would be very surprising if people weren't doing that. I think that might be the case.
At least you have something. You have a source of income. You have regular money coming in. You have a job. You have you stable financially as well. So just do it. Go for it. Don't be worried. You know, and you might end up liking it. So stay positive and
Easier said than done.
don't stop.
He's gonna
So
stop.
one of the reasons the job market in the
You
UK
stopped.
is so bad right now, no one seems to be
Bro.
talking about it, is the changes that were made to the IR35 tax laws. Now, if you don't know what IR35
I don't.
is, essentially
Teach me,
it's
bro.
a tax law that determines if someone can work as self-employed and run for their own
Oh.
company for private
Bruh.
public sector organisations.
They were
so when they need to
they were chasing when I tried to start my own. They were chasing, mate.
35. And
It's
the
not
main
even worth
thing
it.
is people want to be paid fairly in the UK, which they
It's not
typically
even
are.
worth it.
Whereas someone like myself, I could quite easily earn 2 or 3 times more just by being a contractor. But there is that added risk. Now, the reason this has impacted the job market so badly is because those people who were contractors, outside IR35 contracts, pretty much do not
Don't
exist
have-
anymore.
That's what I
Most
was
of
gonna
them are
say.
inside IR35, or companies are doing FTC and hiring people on PAYE. Now, this is almost wiped out the junior job market, especially for graduates in things like computer science and finance, because most of those contractors just went back to permanent employment or they left the country. Now, for the people that went back to permanent employment, they're obviously going to be paid more money because they're typically senior staff, which means there's no money left to hire junior people and train them up. Now, a lot of them would have went back into working for a private sector consultancy organisation that provides services to companies in the public sector or in the private sector. And they're now paying more money for these people because these people are hired PAYE. Like myself, I work in consulting, but the day rates are higher because the private sector companies that employ contractors as consultants on PAYE have to charge more. So nobody is really winning here, and no one seems to want to talk about it, and no one is addressing how it isn't just contractors that are actually impacted, it's PAYE permanent members of staff as well. And because of all the tax implications and the law around this tax, companies don't want to take the risk and put someone through outside IR35 in case they are deemed not by HMRC, and then they come down with big fines.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Finding a job in 2025 is one of the worst and most difficult things you have to go through the job market process. Because they ain't trying to hire nobody. They'll say, oh, we are hiring and stuff like that. But bruh, they're only selecting the people that's fit for that position or some old ass person.
No,
you
I would
just
disagree.
submit your application online and shit. Then you get the email back saying if it corresponds to their requirements.
If you don't
a member
listen,
of the recruitment team will
my bro, if you don't fit a culture, listen. They interview you. A lot of it is just to ramble, just to okay. Let's see how we talk. Let's see whatever. But if they look at you like, you don't look useful in, it's not necessarily like, yes, we want you to, be good in the job, but there's other stuff we need you to be good in as well. Some of it is just, being personable and getting along with people and so forth, which is, I'm not saying that's not important, guys. I'm saying, but when you really look at employment, right, is about you're hiring people that have the skill set in order to help a job be successful within its whatever function they are operating within, right? But it's for the greater, right? It's for the greater, the wider organization, right? It's for, in order to, because everybody needs to focus and work towards one objective and goal, right? Business goal. So the person you're bringing in needs to be able to aid that. Most times that's not the case. No, it's just a lot of times you'll find teams are working in silos. They focus on what they're doing. So as a result, that's also going to impact the recruitment process, because they're going to start looking for, when that manager that's working within that specific team, right, that specific function, they're going to look for people that they can just work with, that they're going to get along with. So they interview that person, and it's not as though like the HR person is essentially always in that room, whatever, with the person. So as a result, the manager, specific manager in that department function, they're gonna just hire what they like. Sorry guys, let's see what happened to the sound. Was that me? Okay, I'm gonna just ignore that basically, right? What I did want to say, that lady, it just reminded me, that girl that they just showed, right? The woman that in the beginning, the one in the beginning, this one, where is she? This one, talking about what she was talking about.
I'm actually currently looking for work. I've been looking for work for a while. I'm not even getting responses back from KFC. I have all these holidays planned that I need to go on. So I have responsibilities. I have a cat to look after.
All right. Okay, just hold on. This is This is why, like, every month, someone like that, right? Every month, their account, like, by the, I don't know, I don't know when you get paid, 20th, I don't know, or most of the end of the month. This is why their account, they look at their account, right? And it's looking like they've been mugged. Like, they've been mugged. Somebody, no, they didn't mug her. They ran up in her account and just took what they could and just give me everything you got, money, bank account, that's just how it looks. Because, like, seriously, like, you're working, right? I want you to think about this. You're working, you're grafting, you're clocking in, but by week 3, you're eyeing your overdraft. You're like, what's this? And you're like, oh my gosh, your overdraft. It's looking like a side hustle. It's looking like that type of, like, we need to be careful, because I'm not saying that woman represents every single person that will just, that was basically on, that said their piece. But, like, and what's her, let me guess, her excuse is, it's the cost of living, bro. Which I'm not saying is not, again, I've never said this. I'm always telling people, yes, cost of living is, job market, I'm not even arguing with that one. This one is hard. I don't even want to tell you, it's not, what I'm trying to say is, if you've applied to places, right, just random places that you're not getting into, now the best thing you could try now is talk to your friends. If you have, friends, family, whatever, a friend of a friend, right, that has a position somewhere, and then tell them, please, Mom, can you tell your friend if anything comes up that she should call you first, and that I am open. You have to now I'm not saying it's going to work, guys. I'm just telling you that this is stuff that I wouldn't have needed to do back then. But looking at it now, what people are saying, it sounds as though the most important thing right now to have is referrals. Because why? People want to hire people that they know is going to fit in. So what better way for them to know you can fit in by them getting it from somebody else, right? So you're referred by somebody else. Oh, this person is good and whatever. It's actually my friend's child. My friend's, let's say, son. So make it to not sound crazy. My friend's son. And he's very hardworking, he's polite, whatever, he's personable. That's gonna help completely, like, boost you up. So when we start looking at that, that's how the market is right now, is really about of like who you know, not necessarily what you know anymore. You know, it used to just be like in the middle. Now it's really just who, like it's gone that bad that the jobs market is about who you know. But somebody like that lady's talking about, oh yeah, I've got who to go to. I'm gonna focus on her, because as I've always said, all this stuff is not I'm not an expert in any of this, none of this stuff. But what I would always be interested in is personal finance. You know, I can't help it. So, like, let's just kind of go with what the excuse that she would kind of go with, right? Which is cost of living. And I agree. I'm not arguing with anybody. Cost of living is mad. But, like, wouldn't you agree that the cost of bad habits is even madder? Like, the cost of your bad, like, the stuff, like, wanting to spend and wanting to, I want to go here, I want to go there. Oh, let me check on this website to find out what I can, like, it doesn't even, I'm just trying to, okay, so I'm going to have to put a scenario, right? Just because I know it sounds like I'm rambling as well, but just to kind of get my I guess an analogy across, right? So, alright, so imagine this here. For this lady specifically, I'm going to talk about this specific lady we're talking about, right? So, you walk into a KFC, a chicken shop. Let's say chicken shop. Let's say KFC, because it's probably more expensive now than, you know, chicken shops. Well, not now, but always been. But anyway, let's just focus on chicken shop, right? So you walk in chicken shop, all you got is £20, right? Got £20. You buy, I don't know, 2-piece chicken. You buy a drink. I don't know. You get like some obviously chips with that, and you're good. You're good. Step out. You go. You know. You're like, you know what? Actually, could you go back? Let me just see how much. Okay, let me get a slice of cake with that as well. Okay, so you're like, how much do I have now? Oh, £17 from 20. Okay. Then you're wondering to yourself, like, wait. So you ain't even left the shop yet, but you've already blown most your money, and somehow you're surprised when your bag's empty. Like, that's the type of person again, I don't know this person, but what she's presented is that kind of person. When you're talking about holidays, you're thinking about holidays before you've even got the money in your bank yet. You're talking about holidays. This is the type of person. That's how people treat payday, you know. I'm telling you, this is how most people, this is how she's treating her life is how people treat payday. It's okay, get paid. Let me think. What am I gonna do next? Go cinema. Uber Eats. Okay, let me think as well. I don't know. Maybe go like on a. You can go on a cheeky date. Maybe. But the decisions you're making they're not decisions. It's not the decision. It's not the money that's the issue in this instance, right? I would say that it's how quick people like that basically forget how you need the money to last. I think that's really pretty much the issue. Like, you really forget. This is what happens when you. Let's just say that woman did have. No, we'll just say woman in this instance, just like, you know, of age. Let's say she did have a job. And now she's probably left that job right now, but she's forgotten how she needed that money to last, right? But then she's saying the money's the issue. No, it's the way you're managing the money that's the issue, because it needs to last, but you've blown through it because you don't have good personal financial discipline. right? And I know that, again, this is about the jobs market and so forth, but you really got to look at the site. You look into. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to see where that lady was coming from specifically, because I think everybody else was sensible in their I guess in their delivery or in their perspective. But she was the one, I guess, that really you won't be surprised if many young people are thinking in that way. That's what I'm trying to say. You kind of won't be surprised. You know, like, it's like her style will probably be something that's like, don't budget, probably doesn't track anything. You know, I've mentioned this in my last video. You need to track stuff. You know, you spend, your car's not connected, like you spend, but you're not really thinking about stuff like how is this going to impact me, right? So you just spend, and then the card, not as though you spend as though your card is not connected to your future. It's like, okay, I'm going to just do it for now. I'm going to enjoy now, and whatever happens. The thing that you're the instrument, the instrument you're using to pay for the stuff you want to get right now is connected to your future. What are you like? You need to like try to make sure that you're like I said before, budgeting. Set up a template and make sure you're budgeting, because why? When these hard times come, I'm not saying that there's this isn't hard, basically, right? And it's almost unbearable, and it's almost borderline to an extent unfair. The jobs market is ridiculous, right? But when these hard times come, all this stuff, it carries over, right? So you need to be able to use a skill set you was able to build from that from that situation, right? From those hardships, and transfer it to what's going on right now. Well, okay, this is what I was feeling. I felt really down and whatever, and I felt like I was gonna give up, but I didn't. I continued, and I was able to work my way. Be that process, you're able to transfer over to something like this now, for that personal finance process. Transfer it to this now, right? To have the same, again, I'm just talking about the same mentality, right? The same endurance, because most people don't have it. And this is I guess what it comes down to, you know. Man. And when it's the 23rd, like you're begging your Monzo for the £50, like, but my Monzo, please, I need that £50 extension, bruh, brethren, please, Monzo. No, how can it? Monzo cannot do anything for you, bro. Monzo can only give you what is available, what you made available there. Bro. To that young woman, like, stop trying to look rich for 1 week, please, just to be broke for the next 3. Don't do it. People are complaining about jobs market. You came on to showcase your point of view like that, and expect people to, I don't know, to have sympathy or. Guys are just, man. To be fair, I mean, this does tie into the cost of living in general, anyway, because people need a job in order to at least support themselves with what's going on. And if they can't, well, cost of living is going to hit them even harder. So everyone is struggling by that the young man said, or I don't know, middle-aged, whatever. No, I think it was. I remember that guy saying he was like 20-something. Yeah, he said, don't leave your job. I mean, if you can't afford to leave it, guys, if you don't have anything in place, nothing, any you know, next, if you don't have another job lined up, if you don't have, I don't know, parents you can fall back on, live with for that time frame, which you don't, you know, which you don't have a job, if you don't have investments in areas where that would allow you to dip into, you know, even if it's not investment, savings, you know, a good, that's why they always tell you like that. So this is why I'm mentioning what I'm mentioning right now in terms of just like how people are dealing with money, right? In the good times, you had to have, again, I'm not saying people didn't do it, but how much, what do you guys want to bet that the majority of people, when the good times were not even good times, it was just okay times, how much want to bet that people weren't saving like they should? I've got friends that are like that I'm having to almost beg them, like, yo, please put this money, like, if you're not gonna at least invest this money, put this money into like savings. And but to me, it's always been the fact that people should try to, again, this is not advice, but people should try to ensure that you make your money work for you as well. Because as you work for your money, it needs to be a reciprocal relationship, right? So the only way you're going to have money respect you is if you manage it well, which is basically budgeting, right? But you're managing money well. You're like, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do. This is how I'm going to use you. Now, you now need to be able to, so I'm going to obviously work for you, and then this is how I'm going to manage you in order to be able to use you in a beneficial way, not just for me, but for our overall goal of maintaining a good level of personal finance. You and money you and money are in a relationship. It needs to be a relationship that's when it comes to both of your roles, both of you need to be trying as equal. No one should be working as harder than the other. And with many people, they're working ridiculously hard for money, only to find that it's like it was almost all for nothing, because I'm now struggling. So I worked all that time. I worked so hard for this, struggling crazy in this current climate. What's going on? Well, when you had the chance to, you know, but I don't want to go, you know, too left field, because this is the jobs market and people are applying. I know people that are applying can't find anything at all. It's a complete struggle. Like they've said, like they mentioned here, people with years of experience can't even get like normal average jobs, and it's not jobs that they're looking for, average jobs within their field. This is just average jobs in general, I'm guessing. You know, are they, I mean, you got probably let's look into what people are applying for as well. You know, if you've gone into a certain field and working a certain level, you might not ever want to go back down, but you're gonna have to, kind of, if you're really trying to, if you're really about that life of, yeah, I need to start getting money, I need money to start coming in now. But this also makes so much sense as to why the numbers of benefits claims have skyrocketed. This, you know, is somewhat makes sense of it all now, right? Because people can't find jobs. So people, would you now blame them? You actually can't blame them now. Yes, there is, they have to. I've been saying this before. You have to take personal accountability, but in this instance, yes, they actually have an excuse. Well, I mean, it's contributing to the cost of living pretty much, right? But geez, people can't even. Well, I mean, cost of living in terms of it's contributing because people are complaining about the cost of living. So it's contributing to the complaint of cost of living because people can't get a job in order to pay for their living, right? So, man, it's just all a mess, and all we can do is just right now. People need to, the fact that they have that time right now to get their head down. Well, and they might not feel the need. They might not feel the not an urge basically, but they might not be in the mood to, right? They might not be enthused. They might not even want to try to upskill, because that's the last thing in your mind. You're like, bro, I need to get something. I need to get money in right now. Like talking about upskilling. Well, I mean, in these down times, this is probably the best times you want to learn a new skill, like, you know, like develop a new level of expertise in order for you to make yourself, well, people will say it doesn't make a difference anyway, because people aren't even applying for people that have the skill set or so, you know, but that for yourself, do it anyway, because things will change a little bit. It won't change enough due to the fact that AI is going to be taking over quite a lot of stuff. So it's really not looking good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, if you're gonna do any skill sets, I guess, learn any new skill sets, I guess, is AI operatives. Look into AI operative jobs for when things maybe when the dust starts to settle and everything looks more clearer. You're probably gonna find a lot of people just going into becoming prompters for AI. So they won't need to do a job, they just prompt AI on what to do, like give AI a command, give the machine basically a command, but you need to know exactly what you're commanding. So those that really understand AI and the verbiage used, because there's a lot of times you might be using ChatGPT and you'll find that it's bringing different results. You're like, what the hell? It's like maybe you didn't, what you thought made sense to you, when ChatGPT took it in context, the phrase used just wasn't correct. So as a result, it gave you what it gave you. Now, this is going to be very taxing for a business if these results, these decisions are being made on, on projects that are running, right? Projects that you need to ensure that you're reducing the amount of errors being made, because it could cost, and everybody knows people do not like, companies do not like losing money. You do not want to be the main person responsible for that. So yeah, I'll say prompting, something I'm going to be looking into 100% is that, cybersecurity is another one I'm going to be looking into. So, but AI, cybersecurity, but you need a job right now. So like one of the people said, do anything, get anything. Like the guy said, I think the guy at the end, get anything, because, or was it this guy? Sorry, no, this guy. I'm gonna leave off with this guy here and what he said. So this is what he says.
Looking for to start something is apply to anything. Apply, just do it.
Perfect time.
You know what I mean? It's better than nothing. You might not be the job you want to do, but at least you have something. You have a source of income. You have regular money coming in. You have a job. You have be stable financially as well. So just do it. Go for it. Don't be worried. And you might end up liking it. So stay positive and don't stop.
I'm going to sign off from there, guys. Oh, always, again, this is not the place to... this is not my area of expertise. I just like to do this stuff. So don't subscribe to me. If anything, go and subscribe to BritPoint. Brit, like Britain, but BritPoint. Subscribe to them, because they're the ones that's putting out these videos, basically. If you want to know more about this jobs market and learn from other people, right? Signing out.